Hey guys, my name is Tim McDaniel, the Financial Stud. I help low and middle income families eliminate debt and better manage their money so they can make their financial dreams a reality. Hey, today I'm going to be talking about the two types of families we have in our society. I know I was born kind of, I wouldn't say like dirt poor, because I didn't feel like I was super poor, right? I was able to get most of the things I wanted. I was able to, participate in sports, and I didn't have all the cool toys, but I did have all the video games and different things that I wanted as a kid. But I know my family did fit inside one of the categories that I'm going to be talking about today. Alright, there's two types of families we have in our society, and I want you to think about, where does your family fit in this description in which I'm about to tell you about today. Alright, so let's get started. Now, like I said, there's two types of families, right? You have your family A and your family B. Alright, now, family A, I like to describe as your have-nots, or your family's making $100,000 or less. Okay, so family A are usually those families that's making less than $100,000, and I'm not talking about just an individual. I'm talking about a household, right? A family of 3, 4, 5, 6, right? A household making less than $100,000. Okay, most of the times, because I can speak from experience, my family, they're in this category, in family A category. And usually how they manage money by listening to their circle of influence. What does that mean? That means that they listen to people that, that was pretty much in their same predicament, same, family A situation, their friends and family. And so what they did was the same thing that their friends did. And so they never really got to a place where, whether or not they can afford a financial advisor or a financial planner, they never got to that place. Nor did they never get to a place where they understood the value of having a financial plan, right? So usually family A, they had no advisor and no plan. So what happens usually when you have no plan, right? Most of us, we don't fail to plan. We fail, we don't plan to fail, but we fail to plan, right? So a lot of times when we don't really understand the value of having a financial plan, what ends up happening is that we end up failing in our financial goals and attaining our financial goals. And so usually what they do is they put their money in the bank, right? Most people have checking, savings account. Maybe they're in the credit union, right? But at the end of the day, that's where they put their money. Usually they're in credit card debt, right? We all know people who maxed out their credit. I've been there before as well, right? Usually family A also, they have a lack of insurance, right? Most of the times I sit down with families that have a lack of insurance. Maybe their employer gives them a year's worth of salary of a protection for their family. But we all know that, okay, a family with 4 and 5, they're not going to be able to, live off of $40,000, $50,000, even $80,000 for the rest of their lives, especially if you have young kids, and even if you have a spouse that just wasn't in a position to really supplement your loss of income. Okay, so usually they have a lack of insurance. Usually they're renters, so they're making their landlord rich, right? And usually they have debt. Same thing, credit card. And unfortunately, family A, although they have the same desires as everybody else, of one day retiring, they never get to a point where they have a peace of mind during retirement. So they only dream of retirement. right? They never have the peace of mind. Okay, they say now that one of the worst fears or the biggest fears for people getting ready to retire is not even death. It's running out of money before death. And that's a shame, right? So this right here is actually 99% of our population. Let's call this the 99 percenters. On up this marker. Okay? It's the 99 percenters. We've all heard of the occupiers, the 99% versus the 1%. These are the 99 percenters. Okay? Now let's talk about family B, the other 1%, right? Usually they're making more than $250,000, right? Usually they're making more than $250,000, and so they can afford a financial planner. They can afford a financial planner. So they have a financial planner. And so they also have a financial plan. And beyond that, they understand the value of having a financial plan. A lot of times, family A, they can afford to get a financial plan, but they don't understand the value of having a financial plan. And so usually family B, they get it, right? And so because they have a financial plan, they usually manage their money better, right? They leverage risk, right? So they have a diversified portfolio. We all know you never should have all your eggs in one basket. We all know what happened to people that had all their assets in real estate, right? It went down, and you know, now they're kind of in a bad situation. We all know people who had all their money in the stock market, right? When it went down, you know, they were panicking. There was nothing they could do, right? So in order to manage your risk, you want to make sure you have a diversified portfolio. Okay, now, also, they know how to get guarantees on their money, right? Through things such as annuities, right? So they have annuities and get guarantees on their money. That's a good deal, right? So you don't never have to worry about the market going down when you got guarantees, guaranteed that you would never lose money, and that's usually what they're in a position to do. Okay. Also, they have permanent life insurance. All right. So, like I said, family A, if they have any insurance, maybe they have a lack of insurance. All right. Family B, they usually have a sufficient amount of insurance, if not more than they need, and it's permanent. It's not temporary. So that means, you know, they have it for the rest of their lives. Okay. Also, they're homeowners. Right? So while family B is renting, making their landlord rich, family B, they're paying on their own asset. They're making their family rich, right? They're making their family accumulate wealth. And so they're usually homeowners, right? And when they do invest their money, they get high rates of return. Right? So, I don't know about you, but I work hard for my money, right? And I'm sure you do. I'm sure you work hard for your money. Most of us do, right? And so, why not have our money work hard for us as well? We work hard for it. Let's put it to work just as hard as we're working, right? And I forgot to mention, if family A does have an investment, usually it ranges from about 0 to 4% rate of return. Sorry if you can't see this, guys. So if they do have an investment, they have a really low rate of return. And we all know that having a low rate of return don't do you any good because of inflation. Okay, right now they're saying the inflation is about close to 3%, but if you really look at the GDP, it's closer to 5.5%, if not higher. Okay, so you're really losing the value of the dollars that you're putting in. Okay, where family B, they get 10% plus rate of return on their money, right? So their money is working really hard for them. Not only that, family A, they're usually in the tax now category, right? So before they get their money, everybody else get their money first, right? They get a paycheck and they don't see the gross, they see the net profit, right? Whereas family B, they know how to take advantage of the tax system, right? And so usually they're in the tax never category. Did you even knew that exists? Right? Did you know that you can put yourself in a position where you never get taxed? There's 3 killers of wealth: inflation, taxation, and procrastination. And that's for those that don't do anything about it, right? So we want to make sure we consider, when we're putting our financial plan together, that we consider those 3 things. We want to make sure that we're taking advantage of tax never category products, that our investments are higher than inflation, right? And we want to make sure we have an action type of a go-getter type of attitude. Don't procrastinate on putting yourself in a better position. People do it all the time, right? And I can't tell you how difficult it is for me to just know a family can do something about their situation, but they don't do it. Okay, so those are the 3 killers of wealth. Okay, and because they do all these things over on the family B side, they actually get to live their retirement dream, right? They get to live it. Why? Because it all started with a plan. It all started with a financial plan. I'm going to say it right this time. Most of us don't plan to fail. We fail to plan. Right? So if you haven't put together your financial plan yet, guys, I would say contact my office. I'll do it for you for free. Bottom line, I would do it for you for free. Do you know how much a financial plan costs if you go to a financial advisor? A minimum, well, let me not say minimum, right? Because everybody have their different price points. But let me say average. Your average financial plan cost is about $1,500, right? And really, in order for a financial advisor to even want to sit down with you, you got to have a couple $100,000 of assets. Try to go sit down with a financial advisor at Charles Schwab, at Morgan Stanley, at these companies, right? Unless you have a couple $100,000 for them to show you how to invest, right? They're not going to sit down and put a plan together for you. That's not fair. But guess what? The financial stud, we're going to make sure we take care of those that's being left out in the system, right? So if you haven't got your financial plan together, if you know somebody that you love and care about that haven't got their financial plan together, let's get it done. Contact my office, tmcdaniel@financialstud.com. You can also contact my phone number directly at 661-312-8168, because I'm really passionate about what I do, right? I'm not sure if you can feel it through the camera, but we're on the road right now. My company, we're really making some ground in terms of helping people out, and I want you to be a part of that. I hope you can be a part of that. You should be a part of it, especially if you're in the family A category, okay? Now, let me tell you the biggest difference. The biggest difference I found from people in family A and people in family B. What do you think? I'll wait. No, I'm just kidding. Okay, yeah, we know that they know the value of having a plan. But I would say also family B has access to information and resources when family A don't, right? I just said that usually family A, they can't even sit down with a financial advisor. So what we do is we show family A what family B is doing. Ain't that a good deal? I thought so too. Well, like I said, if you're in the family A category, contact me as soon as possible. I don't care if you're out in New York, if you're out in Florida, if you're here in California where I am, call my office, 661-312-8168, or you can go to my website, financialstud.com, or email me at tmcdaniel@financialstud.com. All right, guys, that's all I have for you today. Peace and have a good one.